Well, I'm a member of the Lions, past president of the Lions, and we've been supporting this bike ride for the last 4 years since they started coming through Scandia. Well, it certainly brings an awful lot of people to Scandia that wouldn't get here otherwise, and many things like this morning, which has had really miserable weather for these bikers. We've gotten a lot of people that really appreciate the fact that we're out here volunteering just to help this thing be a little better for all of the people that are riding these bikes. But I followed this as a person. I used to do a lot of bike riding myself, including racing and stuff. That they do this in an area 4 or 5 years, and then they'll go to some other area. And so this is the 4th year that they've come through Scandia, and I don't have any idea what they'll do next year. But I know that the feedback to the organization has been very positive about the route that they currently have on the east side of the metro area.
We're making sure people are staying healthy and safe and making sure they don't have to go to the hospital. Cold mainly, dehydration and keeping up on your carb intake, and just exhaustion and making sure helped a lot of flat tires and making sure cars stay away from the bikers. There's like 8 police cars out there, and then also in the construction area we put on our hazards and go behind the bikers so no one can pass them.
Day like today, everyone's wet, cold. We got a couple hypothermia cases, but nothing too major. Representing our school, which is Inver Hills, EMS. So.
We're both EMTs, and we're going to Inver Hills to get our paramedic degree.
This is my 3rd year for this event, and I'm a Scandia Marine Lion. And usually in the past we handed out Gatorade in the parking lot because the weather was so beautiful. This is the 2nd time it's this wet and this cold. The numbers are way down, but the stamina of the people who show up is fantastic. They're saying, no, I'm okay. They're saying, if you keep riding faster, you get warmer. So there's some real heroes out there on their bikes. I am also a bicyclist. I'm a member of the Twin City Bike Club. I don't do this length of a bike ride in this kind of weather. But I've seen some of the nicest people here today. They're very cold, but when you say hello, they smile. When you say welcome, they say, oh, hello, it's good to be here. They're just the nicest bunch of people who ride bikes.
We are the coordinators for the Scandia rest stop. I believe we're on the 60-some mile route, and so we get here early in the morning and we start the coffee right away, especially with the rain and the thunderstorms in the forecast, and make the Gatorade, get all the food out there, and just coordinate and make a nice rest stop for the riders. You know, this is the Cadillac rest stop because we're inside here, and on a day like today, that's a pretty desirable place to be, and they're so appreciative. You know, they always thank you for being here. Thank you. Oh, this coffee is amazing, and it's really fun to just chat with everybody as they come through. I'm actually with with both. TCBC is a Twin Cities Bicycling Club, and I'm a member with them. But I have a long history with the Ironman. Used to be American Youth Hostels, now it's Hosteling International. I've been working at Ironman rest stops since I was really little, like maybe 8 or 9 years old. We used to have the food in our garage growing up, which I thought was amazing because you'd open up the garage and it was full of like salted nut rolls and Fritos. And so I've been there when it was in Buffalo, way back in the day when there was only a 100-mile or 100-kilometer option. And as it moved down to Lakeville and here, every year I think except for the year that I studied abroad in Europe, I've been helping out. Actually, I think that is a family tradition. I mean, I grew up, my parents were coordinators of all the food. So I looked forward to it every year. It's so exciting to like get up really early and just be part of the action in the scene. And now my kids, who are teenagers, they've been working at it since they were babies. So it's really, for me, a tradition that every year I just have to be there. Well, bicycling for me, it's a great thing, but this is really neat to see this early in the season, this many people who already have that mileage under their belt who come out here and do this. I mean, no matter if it's a beautiful day or if it's 30 degrees and rainy, I'm just always impressed by the number of people in the community, and it's great to see them out here. And, everybody can laugh a little bit even when they're suffering like on a day like today, but like last year was gorgeous. And so it's kind of like that, it's like a metaphor for life, right? You appreciate the good because you live through the bad. So that's what the Ironman really is all about.
On behalf of the Scandia Marine Lions, since we're all kind of busy trying to stop this water, thanks for coming to Scandia. And please remember that if you haven't come back for our St. Croix Fat Cat triathlon event, the little red flyers that are on all your tables. It's a paddle, run, bike event. And of course, we're always trying to promote it. And thanks for taking a look.
Well, this is we do it every year, and rain or shine, we like to get out here and just kind of get out with everybody else, suffer together, and just finish and say that we did it. So.
But I feel like we always regret it every single year.
until we're done.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say this is probably our eighth or ninth year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We ask that as we're riding every single year. I think when we originally sign up, we hope that it's going to be nice, and then typically it's not nice. But then really it goes with the name, Ironman. So that's kind of what you feel after you accomplish it. And it's really like a mind over body kind of ride. It's not necessarily maybe an exercise like you think about it, but it's like more mental than it is physical.
Yeah, definitely. And when we're finished, we always have great stories to tell, and we always end up having a good time. Sometimes when the weather is not so great, it actually makes for a more enjoyable experience looking back, because you can say, wow, do you remember how tough that was and how windy it was and how cold it was? And there's people with hypothermia getting first aid care or whatever, and we survived. So, yeah, sometimes when it's a little bit more nasty, it actually makes it a little bit more exciting. I think just being part of the group and seeing all the volunteers that put this on. I mean, it's a tremendous effort, I would think. I mean, there's over 3,000 riders here. There's police officers from the county and from different cities, tons of volunteers. So I think it's just great to see so many people come together that love bike riding to put something on for so many people, and it always just goes off so seamlessly that it's just great to be a part of that.
Yeah, I agree. It's really nice and motivating to be with a lot of people. I mean, and when you're riding, you can see so many other people that they're just going, so then it kind of motivates you to keep going versus like not seeing anybody and kind of being, alone on the road.
Well, for people that haven't done it, I mean, they definitely should sign up and do it next year, even if it's bad weather. We're still here. We're all together. We're suffering together, but we're still having a lot of fun. We're going to have some beer at the finish, so we're going to have a smile on our face. And so if anybody hasn't done it, I'd fully recommend them to come out and join us.
I would agree. If you haven't done it, I'd just give it a shot and try. I mean, all the route options make it kind of doable for a lot of different people. And,
Yeah, we saw a guy on a unicycle out there today,
yeah,
a few of them.
Several of them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if they can do it, it's like you can do any mileage number.
Absolutely. So get out here and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. Races are coming your way. So forget all your duties, oh yeah.
We're the local bike shop in Forest Lake. We've been in business for about 35 years, family owned. Myself and my brother and my mother and father still are the sole owners of the shop, and some of the second generation, my brother's son stepping into the business, and actually I have my nephew Tyler Lickshuttle. He's been working with us for about 10 years. He's our chief mechanic, and so, but yeah, we come out and do these events. We're try to participate in a lot of the local bicycle events. We're a big advocate of cycling. Of course, the Ironman can always bring out precarious weather. That's why they call it the Ironman, because it can be cold, snow, wind, rain. It's usually raining on Ironman day. So, but we come out here and do basic repairs. A lot of flat tires. When it's wet, we see a lot of flat tires. bike tires tend to want to pick up debris and flat easier in wet weather. Well, we've covered this event now for 4 years in a row because this is the first time the Ironman's ventured out in this neck of the woods. It was always down south, like Buffalo, Lakeville, Minneapolis. That's where it's. And I think it's been 50 years strong. The Ironman has been. I think it's done through the Youth Hostels group. But this will be the 4th year they've ventured out this northeast part of the country. Last year was beautiful weather. They had almost 300 on-the-spot registers. So last year was very busy. We were fixing a lot of bikes, more bikes last year, and dealing with a lot more people with issues this year. You know, it's a lot of people are getting towed home, as you could see. 2 years ago, it was probably the worst weather. It was like this, windy and a lot colder, like in the low 30s. I think the most wonderful thing about cycling is it doesn't cost you anything to do it. More and more people are doing it. It's great activity. We turn a lot of runners into bikers because it's low impact. We have a great riding area. You know, Minneapolis is voted like 1 or 2 #1 places in this nation to bike because of all our great bike trails and a lot of bike events. So yeah, just we are a big advocate of cycling.